the Honorable Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, the Honorable Monica Musenero Masanza, and the entire leadership team, the technical leadership team from the ministry, as already highlighted by Dr. Lethal, and our dear Fourth Estate. It's always a pleasure when we have to engage you at the Media Center on the different activities, but also the strategies that the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is implementing on an ongoing basis. This morning, the Honorable Minister will brief you on the status of the electricity supply industry, and you'll be given an opportunity to engage and ask questions that are relevant to today's topic. So without much ado, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister to proceed and make her remarks. Thank you very much.
Fellow Ugandans, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to thank you specifically for joining us this morning as the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development for this press briefing. We have come here today specifically to address matters concerning the stability and availability of electricity. We have heard your voices, especially through social media, through radio, through telephone calls, through WhatsApp messages on groups, discussions that we have had concerning the ongoing and widespread power outages that are currently affecting several parts of the country, including large sections of Kampala city. Over the past few weeks, many households, industries, institutions, and businesses, they have experienced intermittent, actually intensified power outages, especially in the Kampala region, but also in other parts of the country. First and foremost, I want, on behalf of the ministry and the entire family, to say that we acknowledge that power cuts like this cause inconvenience. Not just inconvenience, they cause losses, especially to businesses, and they disrupt our plans. So before these current power interruptions came, actually, we made attempts to communicate to the public. UEDCL issued a number of alerts and notifications for power outages over substantial areas. There were appearances on TV and in newspapers. However, the response that we have received, especially me as the leader of the sector, shows that the communication was not sufficient, and many households, many businesses, many people were caught off guard. And the population was taken largely unaware. And I want to say, on behalf of the sector and on behalf of government, to say that we are sorry about that. We apologize for that. It seems our communication was not sufficient to reach you. And we are praying that today you will hear us and we work together moving forward. We are with you, we are with the population, and we are hearing you. So I want to explain some of the areas, to actually outline some of the areas that have been affected by these enhanced or intensified outages over the past 3 weeks. We have 3 main areas around Kampala, along the Kampala North Namamve transmission line, covering areas of Kyambogo University, Kabaka's Palace, parts of Ntinda, industrial area, Kisasi, Kulambiro, Kororo, Old Chira Road, among many other parts of that region. We also have areas along the Kampala North Mutundwe transmission line, covering covering Kawempe, Kavule, Makerere, Nakulabye, Namungona, Kasubi, Nabweru, Saporo, Kagwa, and the neighboring areas. There are also other parts of the country that have suffered these outages, including outside Kampala, including Mbale. The Mbale sub-region had about 2 days of outage, and areas of Kakumiro, and some other areas around Mbarara. So on behalf of the ministry, I want to take this opportunity now to explain to the nation, because there have been so many theories that we have seen why we are having power outages. I want to explain to the nation why, but I also want to give a promise when this is going to stop. And lastly, to request for your patience, your cooperation, and your understanding, because this is for the good of the nation. Whatever we're experiencing today, the challenge in power, is resulting from actually a good work. It's resulting from work that we are doing to make sure that we stabilize power and also meet the demand. So there is ongoing upgrading rehabilitation work on our power infrastructure. We have been working both on the transmission lines and the distribution infrastructure, which is required to deliver electricity safely and in a stable manner to you. So let me explain a bit more on what is necessary. As we all know, especially our city has grown really, really fast, and our population has increased fast. So this has put a stretch on the electricity demand and on the infrastructure. This growth is reflected in our industrial activity. We have many more industrial work, industrial activities, many more businesses that require heavier electricity, and many more households that need and demand connections. Government has put up many institutions, private sector has put up many institutions, and so this has raised the demand on the infrastructure that we had. Well, this is very, very positive for the economy, and we don't want in any way to say slow down. We want you to continue investing. We want people to continue investing, and the government is also continuing to invest. It has placed a stretch on our infrastructure. Sections of our electricity supply network now require that we upgrade, that we strengthen it, so that we are able to meet this demand. When you stretch the electricity line and the supply, what happens, like anything which is overstretched, it begins to malfunction. So the power became unstable and sometimes dim, especially at peak hours when we need it used, when most of us are back home. To date, UDCL, which is our distribution company, serves up to 2.7 million customers. And I can tell you we hadn't planned for that number. While the overall electricity access continues to grow across the nation, right now we are at 62%. 62% of the households are accessing power. And it is really, really our desire that we grow that rapidly. And since January this year, we have been able to connect 76,000 customers. Despite the massive complaints that you are raising about connection, we've connected 76,000. And at the same time, we have about 500,000 customers who have applied to be connected. UDCL is ready to clear this backlog now within the next 6 months. I think that is good news. Many of you have reached out, you applied within the next 6 months. We want to clear the backlog of power connections. To continue, to improve the current service and accommodate these new connections, government decided to invest in expansion of the capacity for us to repair some infrastructure which was old, but also to increase the capacity of some of the infrastructure like the substations and the transmission lines. So what are we facing now? Because a number of you have had the power switched off from morning to evening consecutively, and you are not very amused about it. One, government is undertaking major transmission network improvement projects around Kampala and in other parts of the country. And these projects specifically include the Kampala Metropolitan Transmission System Improvement Project. This includes the integration of new substations. Substations are like our first stop when the power comes from a very high line. It stops there, then it is distributed. So we have been putting up some new substations and also replacing the existing wires that transmit the electricity, because some of them are aging and they are no longer safe. The Kampala Metropolitan Transmission System Improvement Project is funded with support from JICA, that is Japan International Cooperation Agency, and we are at 91% completion. The first parts of the work did not affect your distribution because we are working in the constructing the substations. But the last part requires that we do the wires to now transmit the enhanced power supply. Now this work of taking now the power from the new substations is going to continue up to the 8th of August, at which point power outages in those areas, we will say bye-bye to them for some time, and we'll have stable electricity. This project includes construction of new substations at Maya, Buloba, and in Mukono, upgrades of substations at Kawala, Mutundwe, and Bujagali, reinforcement of critical 132 kilovolt transmission lines, and deployment of mobile substations at a substation at Namongona. A mobile substation is like a substation we bring, but when we need it somewhere, when we have connected the fixed one, then we can move that somewhere else. But this one serves in the meantime. So following the completion of the substation upgrades, there was now a need for us to modernize and expand the transmission networks serving the Greater Kampala area. This wiring requires planned shutdowns to ensure safety of workers, of the public, and also of the electricity infrastructure. The upgrades, as I've already said, will improve the system. Electricity is going to be more reliable. You'll have less outages, and it is going to increase the capacity of the grid so that now we can meet those new connections, those new applications that have been flooding our inbox. I applied for power 2 years ago. I applied 6 months ago. We are now going to have capacity to connect you. And our technical teams from both the Uganda Electricity Transmission Company and working together with the Electricity Distribution Company are in the field. They are working very hard on these sites to make sure that power stability is restored as planned. Again, I repeat, this work is going to continue up to the 8th. Please bear with us so that we can serve you better. Now, the second reason, because this is not the only reason why power goes off, the second reason for outages is due to some sections of both the transmission and distribution network which are heavily overloaded. They are overloaded, and when these are overloaded, power tends to go off. Power will jump off from one area, it will go off, and it will be unstable when everybody, to protect itself, its infrastructure, but also to protect you, it goes off. So several substations and transmission lines are operating above their optimal capacity at the moment. This necessitates that we need to reinforce and improve reliability and accommodate the growing electricity demand. So our engineers from both UTCL and UDCL move around, playing around with the magic as we have longer term plans to upgrade everything, to make sure that power is still available to you. And this has happened of recent in some areas of Mbale. The Mbale region suffered 2 days of outage because they were working on their lines. Also, some regions of Kakumiro are also experiencing this because their transformer is currently overloaded, and some other parts like Mbarara. The third reason why your power will go off now is when we are doing routine maintenance. Ladies and gentlemen, electricity infrastructure, like any other, it requires servicing and maintenance. And as you well know, we cannot work on these lines when the power is on. So we will be, from time to time, as we maintain the lines, switching off periodically. This will be taken care of, and through prior communication to alert you. I wish I could say that we will not switch off power at all. I wish I could tell you that, but any time power is going to be switched off in your area, if it is intentional or not accidental due to some unintended breakage, we will inform you so that you plan ahead of time. The other reason why we are experiencing power outage in some parts of the country is due to vandalism. Fellow Ugandans, why would any human being go and cut down and destroy an electricity infrastructure, knowing how essential this utility is in our lives? But we have experienced areas of vandalism where individuals go secretly and destroy the infrastructure that brings electricity in several parts of the country. They have been targeting of towers. Those towers are really expensive to put up and they take time. But somebody will go with a hacksaw and cut the tower, which is transmitting power. We have also seen people stealing the conductors, people steal transformers, they drain oil out of the transformers, they steal poles, and this has resulted in the uncoordinated outages sometimes, which we had not planned before, so we cannot forewarn anybody. Of recent, the most recent of these have happened in Mukono. Vana Mukono wemuli. Wemuli. Mwono na amasanyalaze. Bombo. Nabo babba. Bonoona amasanyalaze. Kamuli, Masaka, Bushenyi, Busunju, and really some people have gone as far as digging out underground cables in the Namamve area and also in Bugorobi. Now these cables are transmitting power to people. Of course, for you, you'll be just saying, UDCL. But can't we protect this infrastructure? Because we are fefena, isn't it? It is all ours. Everybody needs masanyalaze. So I want to take this opportunity to appeal to fellow Ugandans. Let us safeguard electricity. Let us protect this infrastructure. As you see, for us to upgrade, we have had to borrow money because putting up this infrastructure is very expensive. If you see somebody vandalizing power infrastructure, why don't we have some community action to watch over this? Because for you who are in that area, you are the ones going to be affected. Please report to the nearest police station any acts of vandalism. Sigambye nti mubakube. I haven't said that you, you report them to what? To the nearest police station or a UEDCL office. They are all over, they are clearly marked, or UETCL. Protecting this network is our shared responsibility. So, just to recap what is going on now, why we are having power outages, mainly around Kampala, is because we are doing an improvement. We are making service better for you. We have heard you. We have heard your cry. And we have been working behind the scenes. But now we have reached where we need to connect you. Please be patient. Some of the outages have come because the infrastructure is overloaded. We have not yet reached there to improve it. And our technicians, our engineers work. They have to turn off so that they play around a bit so that we keep going until then. The third one is because we are vandalizing masanyalaze. Twonona masanyalaze. So, and lastly, the overloaded ones, they will jump off themselves. They will jump off themselves to protect themselves. They may also go off. So in the long run, beyond what we are doing in Kampala, what is government? What has government put in place? Government is working on accelerated completion of this ongoing transmission projects in Kampala metropolitan area. To complete that, we need to do the wiring. We're also working to reinforce the overloaded substations and the feeders. We are replacing and upgrading aging transformers. We have some transformers now have come into the country, and we are replacing. We'll gradually keep improving the power. and we are expanding the network, which is going to help us now to connect many of you who had applied and you've been complaining. And then government is also acquiring more mobile substations that can be put in those places where we are not yet able to build the permanent ones, so that you keep online until we are able to come and build the online. I want to assure us Ugandans, including me, when power goes off in my home, I'm not happy. But I want to assure you that we have made a lot of progress, including our industries. The industries were complaining they didn't have enough power, power was unstable. Now we have worked up to 99.7% of the supply, that higher voltage supply, which goes to the factories. Sometimes you call them, I was told not to use this, but we understand three-phase, okay? Many industries don't work with the normal one, which we use for lighting our homes. So government remains firmly committed to building an electricity network which is capable of supporting Uganda's industrialization electricity. Some industries applied, they said they don't have strong power. We are coming. We have heard you. We are coming. We are going to reach you. So in order for us to reach that tenfold growth, which government is committed to, we recently renewed our pact with the people of Uganda. Thank you very much for that. But we promised a tenfold growth of the economy in the next 15 years. We must accelerate investment in transmission, distribution infrastructure, rehabilitation of the aging one, and expansion of whichever substations. And when we come to you to ask for land for substations, please give us quickly and freely. Sometimes we need land where to put these substations. And we take so long because nobody will give us land. We also want to promise that we are greatly enhancing our customer care. We are greatly enhancing our customer care, and we are greatly enhancing our communication. From now on, if you get an outage where you have not received the communication before, then that is going to be because it is a fault. Either somebody has vandalized the line, or the power has jumped off. And even in that case, our engineers usually jump in, and when you send a message to our hotlines, we will respond immediately. I wish to assure all of you Ugandans, the outages are temporary. Tugumireko bannange, eh? Let us just bear with me and all this team. Up to the 8th, not everybody, for example, some parts were done yesterday. Kavulewa is now on, Kororo is on, and we are saying 8th, not everybody will be switched off every day, but some areas will be switched off. By 8th August, that is going to completely stop. We therefore ask for your continued patience, support. Please inform the neighbor that we have power in the country, and the Ministry of Energy is working very hard to make sure that we have. I'm now going to invite the CEO of UEDCL to come and inform you of some additional upcoming work. And then I will come back and close.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that. First of all, would like to, once again, I'd like to reiterate that we fully acknowledge the inconvenience to our, that's better? We fully acknowledge the inconvenience to our customers that you have faced during the implementation of these works and the projects that we've been talking about. However, the significance of this project in enhancing the capacity of the backbone to improve the reliability and efficiency of the electricity supply cannot be overstated. As we go into the last phase, a lot of the works have already been completed. Some of the areas that have been going off daily over the past couple of weeks have been completed. But as we go into the last phase of this Kampala Metropolitan Transmission Project, which is supposed to end on 8th, I'd like to share the areas that will be affected between 31st and 8th August. The first one is Masanafu area. That is from our Namongona substation. The affected areas will be Masanafu areas, Chinonya, Bukuluji, Lugala areas, Lusaze, Chigobe, and the surrounding areas. For the Busega line from our Mutundwe substation, the areas that will be affected until 8th will be around Natete, that is Natete Police Station, Chigaga, Chibumbiro, Chigwanya Road, Busega area, Busega Samona Factory, and Natete Church Zone, and the surrounding areas. We appeal to the public to continue cooperating with us, UEDCL and UETCL, as we complete this project. We shall continue to announce the planned maintenance to keep it to keep the public aware, and these planned outages are necessary to enable the safe execution of the works, the safety of the teams, the safety of the community, and ultimately will deliver a stronger, resilient, and more reliable electricity networks. We also encourage the public to report electricity faults, if there are any other faults after these outages, promptly through the official UEDCL customer care channels, so that we can restore faster and we can get to know which areas are affected. We have a number of ways that you can report as the customers. We have toll-free lines whose numbers are 0800 203 088, 0800 285 284, or 0800 385 385. Our teams are online 24 hours a day to be able to receive your complaints. Please use them. We also have other social media channels. We have X, we have Instagram, we have, you can also write an email at callcenter@uedcl.co.ug. Our X handle is UEDCL Limited. So please use them. We track these complaints, and we are working on ensuring that our teams will be there promptly in case of any outages or faults outside these. We have also noted reports of individuals attempting to exploit members of the public seeking electricity connections and meters by demanding cash payments in exchange for meters or faster service. We wish to make it categorically clear that no applicant should give cash to any individual Any individual who asks you, send to my Momo, send to me, meet for cash, please do not give any individual claiming to facilitate electricity connections or meter installations. We have standard payment channels. Just to make it clear, the standard fees are there. For inspection, it's 23,600, and for our Government of Uganda connections, we give preloaded units. There's a payment for preloaded units, which you shall get for your use of 6,400. But all UEDCL payments are made only through authorized banks and also the approved electronic payment platforms, where we also have mobile money. From your phone, you can just make the payment and you will get the message when it's received. So anybody demanding cash is acting fraudulently and should be reported immediately to police or UEDCL. Allow me to also talk about power losses. These are losses, this is energy that is used by individuals, but they do not pay for it. There are also losses through the network. When you use electricity and you do not pay for it, it is illegal use of this electricity, as it should be metered, some through bypasses and tampering. Some people also come to our customers promising them that they can do work for them and they don't have to pay for this electricity. This is also illegal. Not only does it cause a sustainability risk, because we'll need to collect the money to further invest in the network, but for our customers and the community, it poses a significant safety hazard, where we have seen fatalities due to works that are not approved. And as such, we also call upon the public to report these people who go around assisting and aiding, and these camufus who go around convincing people. Just to let you know that it is illegal, but we should work with you. If you're part of it, you report yourself, and we shall also come and replace your meter. In line with that, I am pleased to also inform the public that the Government of Uganda has now secured a substantial amount stock of electricity meters. I think many of you have seen them coming through UNBS. As they get tested, we are putting them on the network. So we're also increasing the speed of connecting the backlog and replacing meters that had failed. We also have other essential network materials. There's been some delay also in transformer replacements. I'd like to inform you that we have also gotten transformers now and are continuing to ensure that there is a pipeline so that we can replace transformers and other materials in a timely manner. We shall.
I want again to reassure us as a nation that we fully appreciate that reliable, available, and reliable electricity is fundamental to economic growth, to industrial development. It's essential for our health care, for our education, and the daily lives of our people. We therefore remain fully committed to investing in modern electricity infrastructure that meets the growing demands of our economy and ensures that every Ugandan has access to reliable, affordable electricity. I pledge henceforth that we shall keep you informed about such interventions. We'll take adequate measures to make sure that the majority of Ugandans have heard and they are aware and they are given enough time to prepare when we are going to do such planned unless these are inevitable or emergency or they are due to vandalism. I also want to pledge that our service and responsiveness to you is only going to get better. We want to serve you. We want to hear, give us the feedback, and we work together to make sure that you are served because you are the reason we exist. I thank the people of Uganda for the patience, even for the forgiveness now, although they haven't told me. I believe they have forgiven me because I have apologized. And so thank you for that cooperation. Thank you for the forgiveness and continued confidence as we implement these critical investments that will secure our energy future, together by protecting our electricity infrastructure, reporting acts of vandalism, and rejecting fraudsters. We shall build a stronger, more reliable electricity system that powers Uganda's transformation. To the people we serve, we say we have heard you, we hear you, we are with you, for God and my country. I thank you. I'll now take any questions. Bannange, bannamawulire, abakyala n'abaami, mbalamusizza. Olwaleero tuli wano ku Media Center nga ekitongole ky'amasannyalaze n'ebyobugagga bya wansi, minerals, eby'omuttaka, ebyobugagga eby'omuttaka. Tugambye nti kijja kukola. So, olwaleero tuzze wano ekituleese kubanga mu wiikisi eziyiseewo waliwo ebitundutundu bya Uganda ebibadde nga bifuna okusalwako amasannyalaze. Ate ng'ekintu kino kiruddewo ng'ennaku ziwezeewezemukko, tubawulidde nga mwogera ku mikutu, nga mwogera mukuba amasimu, nga mubyogerako ku rediyo, abalala nga bagezaako okutebenkereza nti kiki kino ekitutuuseeko. Ekintu kino olw'amasannyalaze okusalwako kibadde kibeerawo mu bitundutundu eby'eggwanga ebitali bimu, naddala okusinga mu Kampala, ebitundu ebya Kampala. Tutegedde nti amakolero, bizinesi amasomero ne institutions zonna mubadde nga mukeera ku makya amasannyalaze ne gavaako n'otuuka ku mulimu nga tosobola kukola. Bannaffe tukkiriza nti wabaddewo abantu okuyisibwa obubi. Abamu bakoseddwa mu ngeri ezitali zimu nga bafiiriddwa ebyabwe era abamu nga tebakoze. Naye njagala okugamba nti okusalako amasannyalaze kuno nga tekunaatandika, twagezaako okubabuulira. Twayisa amawulire ku mikutu egitali gimu, twateekako ku TV ne mu mpapula nga tubabuulira nti tugenda kusalako amasannyalaze wano. Naye oba oli awo tetwakikola mu bungi ne mu mitendera egyali gyetaagisa. Kati abantu abasinga obungi tebaakiwulira era abasinga babadde nga bafunye obusungu bungi okulaba nti buli lunaku agenda okukola amasannyalaze ne gavaako. Kati kye tuzze ekisooka kwe kubeetondera, twandibadde nga twakola kineneko okwawo ne tubawaako akadde ne muteekateeka bye mugenda okukozesa, oba bw'oba ng'omanyi nti n'enkya gagenda kuvaako, olwaleero ng'otonaba kwebaka ogolerera ddala ki? Engoye z'ogenda okwambala enkya. Mutusonyiwe, naye olwaleero tuzze okubannyonnyola era tutandiike bupya. Ffenna tutegeere lwaki amasannyalaze gavaako, kubanga era gagenda nga geeyongera okuvaako mu nnaku ntonotono mu maaso. Ebifo ebimu ebikoseddwa, tubadde Kampala, ku layini yaffe gye tuyita Kampala North, n'ebifo ebiriraanyaawo nga Namanve, layini ezo waliwo we ziyita, ne ziyita Ekyambogo, zisasanya amasannyalaze, Kabakazi Palace, Ntinda, ebitundutundu ebyo bibadde bikosebwa. Waliwo n'ebirala kye tuyita kuyita Emutundwe, nga nayo Kampala North naye ng'oyita Emutundwe, Kawempe, Kavule, ebifo ebyo nabyo muwuliddemu nga buli ku makya ng'akayaaka kavaako. Bitundutundu bye naakulabye, Namuŋoona, Kasubi, Nabweru, Saapolo, Kagwa n'ebiriraanyaawo amasannyalaze gabadde gavaako. Era n'ebitundutundu ebirala ng'Embaale, ekitundu ky'Embaale yo gaavaako ennaku 2. Twababuulira naye era twawulira kereere nga kirabika tebaafuna nnyo obubaka bwaffe, naye bo baddako. Naye waliwo ebifo ebirala gye tukyakola ng'Ekakumiro, nabo tuba tubabuulira. Bwe mubadde nga temunaba kufuna bubaka bwaffe, mbasaba olwaleero mubufune nga tusaba kisonyiwo nakutugumiikiriza. Ku lwa kitongole kino eky'amasannyalaze, njagala okubabuulira lwaki amasannyalaze gavaako. Amasannyalaze gaffe weegali, naye ebitambuza amasannyalaze bannange bibadde bitukaddiyeeko ate nga kati tebitumala, kubanga twali tuteekeddateekedde abantu si bangi, si mu bungi bwe tulina. Naye ffe twagala enkulaakulana ejje, twagala muleete abayinvesita bateekewo ebintu, ate twagala nammwe muve mu kukozesa butaadooba, mukozese amasannyalaze, kubanga obulamu bweyagalako ng'ojja n'oteekako kabbalubu. Naye okweyongera omujjuzo guno, abantu okuba abangi, bizinesi okuba ennyingi, kitadde obuzito ku sisitimu yaffe. Kati nekiba nga layini tezikyasobola kutwala amasannyalaze ago, substations nga tezikyasobola kusapurayinga ekimala, era n'ezitransifoma ezisinga nga oba oliawo ne zibukako kubanga bw'okiyitiriza nga zivaako. Naye okuba kati nga tetwagala mmwe musirise emirimu gye mukola, era n'abo abaapulayinga amasannyalaze nabo tubateekeko ku layini. Gavumenti yasalawo okuteekamu twongezeemu amaanyi okuzimba ebyetaagisa eby'amasannyalaze. Kati ekitongole kyaffe ekiba connectinga, bannange ekitongole kirungi, UDCL yekuleetera amasannyalaze ewaka. Bakakonekitinga abantu 2,7 beddu. Si batono abo. Ennyumba, si bantu, nnyumba. Ennyumba. N'amakolero. N'abo bonna abeetaagisa. Kati obwo obungi sisitimu yaffe yali tesobola abusitula. Omwaka guno tugezezaako, newankubadde nga mubadde muyomba nnyo mbawulidde, naye twakakonekitinga abantu 7,600 nga tulina abantu 500 abaakola application ne mujjuza foomu ne musasula oluusi basasula ne musasula. Era mbadde mpulira akasookedde bampa obwa minisita message bujjula dudu buli bwembeera ne bwemba njogera mukyala gw'amasannyalaze nakola application teganajja kati naye kati bwe tutuuse UDCL neteefuteefu nga bwe bagenda okubabuulira okubaddiramuko mu Luganda etandise okonectinga abantu kubanga tubadde tulina okukolamu omulimu mu sisitimu yaffe okulaba nti amasannyalaze agajja gaba gamala ate tegoonoona bintu tegoonoona layini ne zitransfoma tezivaako. Gavumenti emaze ebbanga mu kitundu ky'e Kampala kubanga kye kisinze okula ennyo nga tukola ku ezo ze beeyita substation awo osanga nga tutaddewo zi transfoma ennene nnyingi wansi waliwo substation ezo kati ze twali tuzimbye e Kampala nga tezikyamala kati nga tukolagana n'omukago ogw'abannaffe aba Japaani gavumenti yateekawo projekiti ne tutandika okuzimba zi substations empya kati omulimu ogwo tugukoze bulungi 91 ku 100 guwedde kati kye tubadde tusigazizza kujja amasannyalaze okugaleeta omwo naye okugajjamu kati tuba connecting emmwe ekyo kiba kyetaagisa tuggyeko amasannyalaze tubakyuse tubaze ku layini ziri ennungi kati omulimu ogwo guba munene gulina ebitongole byaffe bibiri ebirina okukola Uganda Electric Transmission Company eba erina okugajja eri n'egaleeta ku substation ne waya ezo ezitwala amasannyalaze amangi ogatuusa bwe galina okuviira kati awo eno UDCL ebaleetere ewaka ne ku factory nejjiraawo negajjaawo kati okola omulimu ogwo tulina okuggyako amasannyalaze abantu baffe abakola ate nammwe abatambula singa osanga awo waya bazitadde wansi n'olinnyako gayinza okuyingizaamu ako k'otayagala kyo tetwagala obwo obubenje bubeerewo oluusi n'ebirala amayumba gaffe tetwagala tufune obubenje kati omulimu guno gutambudde bulungi era tusuubira nti mu Kampala yonna gujja kuba guwedde nga 8 omwezi gw'omunaana nga bwe mumanyi ogw'omusanvu gugenda kuggwako kati tugenda mu mwezi gw'omunaana omulimu guno gujja kuba gwonna nga tumaze wonna mu Kampala wano awo amasannyalaze gabeere mulaala nga buli bw'ojja ewaka kwegali mpozi nga waliwo abo ba mutima mubi abasaze waya zaffe ekyokubiri lwaki amasannyalaze gabadde gavaako waliwo mu bitundutundu bwe tetunaba kutuukayo okuzimbayo substations zino empya n'okwongezaamu amaanyi naye kati ebifo ebyo nga bali connected bazitoweredde nnyo transformer bazitoweredde substation kati abakozi baffe baba batambula nga balaba waawe tulinaako amasannyalaze agakyaliwo awatazitowereddwa nnyo nga bakyusakyusa ziwaya ezo ekyo kikyatuuka ku kitundu ky'Embaale kubanga baali bakyusa babazze ku layini ekyalinako supeesi era n'ebifo ebirala awali obuzibuzibu tujja kubanga tutambula tujja mu nnaku zino eziddako nga tukyusakyusamu layinizi tuyinza okuggyako olunaku oba nnaku 2 twagala bannange tutegeragane nti kino kyetaagisa okufuna amasannyalaze ekyokusatu lwaki amasannyalaze gavaako waliwo wali tetunaba kutuuka ate tewalina alternative y'okukyusa kati bwe mudda waka mwena ne muteekako nateekako paasi oli naateekako keto oli naateekako n'aba factory ne bateekako amasannyalaze nago okwetaasa oluusi gabuukako kati ezo gabuukako galeme okwokya ebintu n'okwonoona ebibyo naye ebyo aba UDCL bwe mubabuulira badduka mangu ne tugezaako ne bwe kiba kiro oluusi bwe kiba kiro nga muloopye babagamba bayinginiya baffe bajja kugaazaako. Ekyokuna ate kinyiikaaza emitima tubayite tuti abavandoozi, babbi, mitima mibi, emitima emikaatuufu tebatwagaliza. Awo omuntu ova otya ewaka n'ogenda n'okwata omusumeeno n'ogenda n'osala ekyuma ky'amasannyalaze ekyo kye tuzimbye ate oluusi bakisala ne bakireka awo. Si lwakuba nti baagala sikuraapu nti baagala ki, naye bakisala busazi lwa ttima obutayagaliza Uganda ebeere miraala. Bannange guno omulimu gwaffe. Abantu bano batambula nga babba basala ezo taawo ezo z'olaba ez'amasannyalaze ago amanene ate galidde enjalaasi. Gajja kubookya bateeka n'ekitundu kyammwe mu ddenja. Abalala babba waaya, abalala babba zi transformer, abalala transformer baziggyamu oyiro. Oyo oyiro alimu. Kati kasita amasannyalaze gajja nga transformer bagigyemu oyiro ng'ekuba. Abalala basitula miti, emiti gyaffe gy'amasannyalaze bagisala bajja kyokka bannange kati oba otegeeza ki n'ojja n'osanga omuti gwe baasimbye gwe n'okwata n'ojja n'akasumeena oluusi bajja ne pawaso ne bakasala ne zigwa bo ne bagenda. Kati abantu abo tubakolere ki? Bwe tubakwata ne tubasiba nabo tubawe beyiro? Tubalekeyo. Kati ebintu bino tubirabye, ngenda kuyita abo ebitundu ebitwonoonera amasannyalaze ennyo naddala mu nnaku zino. Mukono we muli, Mukono, Bombo, Kamuli mwonoona amasannyalaze, Masaka musala emiti gyaffe, ab'e Bushenyi, Busunju n'abalala bagenda wano e Namanve. Mumanyi Namanve tulinawo factory nnyingi. Kati twagira kebo ne tuziteeka wansi ne tuzikweka eyo, naye abantu bagenda mu kiro ne bazisima ne bazisala. Kati bannange nsaba ffenna Abannayuganda, luno olutalo lwaffe tukwate kaweefube okulwanyisa obwonoonyi bw'amasannyalaze. Temukitulekera ffekka kubanga bwe tunaagenda okutegeera bajja kuba badduse, naye gwe bw'oba okiwulidde genda mu ripootinge ku poliisi. Ennaku zino tulina obuno obukwata obusimu, obusimu naye Kabiriti naye akwata ka vidiyo, Kasana naye akwata ka vidiyo. Tusobole okuba identifyinga tubaripootinge ku poliisi oba kuba ku namba zaffe ezo za UDCL ze mumanyi era tugenda zibasomera, oba UTCL. Abantu abo tubakwate tubatwale mu mbuga z'amateeka batusasulire amasannyalaze gaffe. Kati kambabuulireko nti gye tujja mu maaso, gavumenti etadde nnyo essira okulaba nti amasannyalaze n'ebyo ebitundu bye tetunaatuuka tujja nga twongeramu amasannyalaze amaanyi. Tukola nnyo okulaba nti tugenda kumaliriza wano e Kampala, era omukulu waffe akulira ekitongole kya UDCL ajja ababuulira wagenda okukola okuva nga 31 okutuuka nga 8. Twetegeke, tujja kuba nga tukola nga tulaba wali overloaded, wazitowereddwa, nga tujja ne tugezaako okulaba nti amasannyalaze gasigalako. Transformer abasinga mubadde muloopa transformer ezaafa enkadde, waliwo ze twajja ne tujjayo tetunaba kuzizza. Ezo zonna tujja kuba kati. Nze baŋŋamba mbu ndi sitooko nkadde naye ndi sitooko mpya mu energy. Sitooko mpya mu energy n'amaanyi gonna. Transformer zijja. Mwena ababadde bakaaba zijja. Kati tujja kulaba naawe awe tutalaba kuzimba substations kubanga zitwalako akasente akawerako. Tujja kuleetawo mobile substations. Tulabe nti Munnayuganda yenna abeerako nga bwe kisoboka. Era tumanyi nti ebyo gavumenti byekola, tujja kulaba nti Uganda esigala ng'eyaka. Abannaffe ab'amakolero mubadde munkubira amasimu naye kati ebintu byammwe tutandise okubikolako, layini ezibaleetera amasannyalaze. Kati tuli 99.7% okulaba nti olina amasannyalaze mu buzito bwe weetaaga. Tokozesa gaffe gano agateekako ka balubu naye olina gali 3 phase ayingira mu factory. Twongeddeko okulaba nti factory zijja kubanga ziri stable. Gavumenti ejja kuteekamu era amaanyi n'essira okulaba nti buli wamu tutuukawo. Buli wamu tutuukawo nga tukola ku masannyalaze gano. Ng'amaliriza ekitundutundu kino njagala okubasaba nti bannange mutugumireko. Mugumemuuko katono. Tusigazizaayo wiiki emu nnaku mmeka. Naddala bannakampala tetulina ngeri gye tusobola okubawa amasannyalaze amalungi agali stable nga tetukoze kino. Kale nasabye dde ekisonyiwo naye nsaba bugumiikiriza kati. Amasannyalaze ate tugazzaako olw'eggulo. Mpozi nga ewuwo tegazzeeko awo ripootinga kubanga ekyo tekiba kya pulaani yaffe, ekyo kiba kizibu kirala. Naye galina gavaako ku makya olw'eggulo ne gaddako. Kubanga tegavuddeeko lwa kizibu naye tugaggyeeko okusobozesa banjiniya baffe okukola. Kale nsaba mutugumiikirizeemuko tugezaako okubawa saaviisi gye musaanira. Era tubasaba mwongeze okulaba nti tulondoola ebintu byaffe, infrastructure yaffe. Waya ey'amasannyalaze si ya UDCL yo Munnayuganda. Ate oluusi ogiraba wano naye etambuza amasannyalaze paka wala. Oluusi gwe onooba wano bba wali omwana wo nga alwadde agenda mu ddwaliro. Bajja bamutuusa mu ddwaliro nga tewali masannyalaze. Kati nsaba mutugumiikirize ate nsaba tukwatire wamu tulabe nti amasannyalaze kwe gali. Kampite omu ku ba UDCL ajja tunnyonnyolewa bwe bagenda okubanga bakyasalako. Waliwo layini eziwedde nga elayini ya Kavule eyewedde erirwedde. Naakulabye tegakyavaako. Mwe kati muli miraala mweyagale mukole overnight. Gavaako reportinga. Ekyo tekiba kiri kye tukoze kasita gavaako ekiro oba gavaako kati mu bifo ebyo bye tumaze. Eri gye tugenda okubabuulira jangu munnaffe otunnyonnyole ndyoke nzije nfundikire Oluganda luno ndowooza lukoze nga Samona.
Alamusizza bassebo ne bannyabo. Oluganda lwange si lulungi nnyo lwa kwogera mu bantu. Njogerako bitonotono bye mmanyi nga ki ekiriwo, gumite, amasannyalaze. Naye leero kampite Chief Commercial Officer wa UEDCL Chief Commercial and Operation Services Officer bamuyita Isaac Katewanga, Isaac Jangu, ajja tuyamba abanyonyole bulungi kigenda mu maaso. Mwebale nnyo.
Webale nnyo mukama wange, Honorable Minister. Ngenda kuyisa mu bwangu ebimu ebyogeddwa bakama bange. Ng'ekikulu mu byonna ekisookerwako nga Honorable Minister babadde abannyonnyola nti amasannyalaze gajja kusigala nga tugajjako mu kiseera ekitono okuviira ddala 31 Ogw'omusanvu okutuukira ddala nga 8 Ogw'omunaana. Naye mu bitundu si wonna tuli nga tukomekkereza pulojekiti eno ebaddewo ey'okutereeza amasannyalaze mu bitundu ebyetoolodde Kampala gye twayise Kampala Metropolitan Transmission Project. Ebitundu bino biriko ku substations zaffe 2. Waliwo layini eva e Namuŋŋoona ng'egenda mu bitundu eby'Emasanafu. Gamba tunuuliranga ebitundu nga Masanafu, Kinoonya, Bukulugi, Lugalaawo, Lusaze, Kigobe, Bukirira paka eri wansi ku chachi ya Pastor Imelda. Waawo bijja kubanga amasannyalaze tugajja ku makya paka akawungeezi. Ate sayidi eri ey'Ebusega waliwo layini endala gye tujja Emutundwe. Emutundwe waliyo era ekkuŋŋaanyizo ly'amasannyalaze ddala. So okutunuulira ebitundu nga poliisi y'e Nateete weeri, mu Kigagga, Kibumbiro, Kigwanya Road, Busega Kabaale, Busega ngaawe Wassamuna oluguudo baakalukola kati, Factory, Church Zone awo ku Mataazi n'ebitundu ebirinaanyeewo. Naye nga mu bino byonna kye twagala okutegeeza, yes okunyigirizibwa kwe kuli, naye kye twagala kulaba nga ate twongera okutereeza empeereza yaffe. Omulimu guno kye guli mu kutunuulira ennyo kugumya mugongo. Omugongo mugumanyi nti omuntu ayinza okuba ng'omutwe mulamu, ebigere biramu, naye omugongo bwe guba nga munafu obeera toyinza na kutambula. Lwaki? Lwa spine. So tusaba mutugumiikirize mu kiseera ekitali kyawala nga bwe tubategeezezza pulojekiti eyo egenda kubeggwa. Naye kye tulina okwetegereza nti si gwe mulundi ogujja okusemba okujja okubasaba. Waliwo pulojekiti endala nnyingi nnyo era ezongera okutereeza emigongo gyaffe, nga minisita bw'abadde abategeeza nti twetaaga okuzza obuggya layini zaffe nnyingi. Kumpi waliwo pulojekiti nga 12 munsokkirize nze basomere wano. Waliwo nga ku substation y'e Mutundwe, substation eri ku Hoima Road ey'e Busunju, waliwo ey'e Kajjansi ku Entebbe Road, waliwo Lugogo wano we gatuukira, waliwo Kawanda, waliwo Lumpewe, waliwo Kireka, waliwo Njeru, waliwo Nkonge eri e Mubende, Jinja ne Waliggo ku Gayaza Road. Ne zino era ziri mu nteekateeka era tugenda kujja tubasabe amasannyalaze mutukkirize nga tugajjako ku makya nga tugazzaako akawungeezi. Okusaba tubasaba mu kiseera kino ne kugenda mu maaso okwongera okubeera nga mututegeeza. Bwe kiba ekitundu kyo totegeezeddwa nti leero amasannyalaze gagenda kuvaako, tubasaba mututegeeze. Mulabe nga temutandika kkubira abantu bali mu field nti munnaawe wano gavuddeko. Nedda. Lwaki kyetaagisa okubeera nga mututegeeza? Naffe abakozi abali mu field eyo tuba monitalinga. Buli lw'okuba n'otutegeeza kituyamba okumanya ani gwe tuwadde omulimu guno. Naye bw'oba totutegeezezza kiba kizibu nnyo okumanya Isaac ali mu field eyo akola ki. Ayinza okuba mazima ddala mwamusanze ku awantu ne mugamba naye gwe oli wa UDCL jangu okole wano, naye tetumanya ddala byakola bituufu oba ddala akola bibye. So tubasaba mukozese ennamba zino eza bulijjo nga mukola ki, nga mututegeeza. Waliwo ezitaliiko za kusasulira, munsabe nzibaddiremu 0800 223 088 0800 285 285 oba 0800 385 385. Temukoowa kututegeeza kubanga tuba twetaaga ripooti. Ne layini endala nnyingi empeereza muzimanyi, ku social media kwetuli, era oteeka mu buteesi at UEDCL UEDCL TD ye handle zaffe ku mpeereza zonna eza social media. Twagala okubategeeza era tufunye amawulire nga abamu, ate kino tujja kyogera nti oluusi bayinza okuba nga abamu bakozi baffe, abalala bantu mu community bakiyita batya, mu kitundu, abagenda nga bagamba bw'oteekayo 50,000 10 osobola okufuna express. Bannaye twagala obbategeeza okuggyako oli nga ze n'asaba nti nze njagala gange gakwesasulira egyo 42,700. Naye bw'oba nga wasaba amasannyalaze aga gavumenti agaliko inspection 22,360 ne uniti ezijjirako eza nusu 604, bannaye mutuule entende, sente zammwe bajja ziriira bwereere. System gye twataddewo yakulaga nti eyasooka okusaba yakola ki, yasooka ate n'okugamba ani agenda okubeera nga bamuwa mita tekikyakolebwa ku ofiisi w'ogenze, nedda kiri tukikolera ku head office ne tulaba nti bano betugenda okonectinga enkya ne tubaweereza ggulu ne tubaweereza wa. Olwaki? Olw'okulaba nti eyasooka mu layini yakola ki. So ekyo njagadde mukitegeere bulungi. Sente zammwe bajja zibalyako ate mugambe era twabalimbye. Bw'olaba of course tukyayinako okusoomoozebwa okulala oba obubbi bw'amasannyalaze ne vandalism. Vandalism oba bagiyita batya? Tetwagala buyita bubbi naye buba bubbi. Omuntu kuba bw'otaba mubbi ndowooza abeera mutujju. Bw'osala ebyuma n'obirekaawo naye manyi waliyo amalwaliro, kiba kitegeeza ki. Naye obubbi bw'amasannyalaze bannaye bukyaliwo. Tukyasaba mutuyambe mulabe nga mukola ki, tweyamba kubanga gye bukomerera bw'obanga oli ataddemu akawaya gw'ate atabba gwabeera amusasulira. Tuyina ennamba zino zo za njawulo ku ziri ez'okomplayininga ze nabasomedde waggulu. Zino zo za whistleblowing, kwekubira nduulu eri 0312 333 377 ne 0760 64 89 98. Nga maliriza tuyina essuubi era meters ezibadde nga twafunamu okusoomoozebwa zatandise okutuuka. nga bwe mutandise obbiraba byonna ku mitimbagano si kiwaanyi. Mita weeziri tutandise okonektinga ku puroguramu eri gye mbagambye n'ebyuma ebirala byonna nga transformer zitandise okujja era mu myezi 6 nga honorable minister bw'abategeezezza. Zino abantu emitwalo 5 bajja kuba bamaze okuconnectingibwa. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala.
Ani asinza Oluganda? Kati bannange nga maliriza, njagala kubeebaza nate obugumiikiriza bwammwe nga bannayuganda. Mwebale okuba bagumiikiriza, mubadde nnyo ogumite. Naye bino bye tukola twagala okubawa amasannyalaze amalungi, twagala mubeere nga mweyagala ng'ensi endala. Otambulako mu nsi endala n'omalayo myaka nga tolabangako ng'amasannyalaze gavaako. Naffe Uganda kye twagala omuntu abeere ng'amanyi nti amasannyalaze ge gajja kubeerako. Naye okukola ekyo tujja kuba nga tuyitako wano bwe tugenda okuba nga tubajjajjako oba amasannyalaze bwe tunaba kutereeza nga gavaako. Naye kye mbasuubiza nti buli bwe kinaabangawo nga tuteesateese, tweterezezza nnyo munda mu ffe kati nga ffe minisitule yonna, tujja kuba nga tubabuulira nga tubannyonnyola nga naddala babagenda okukosebwa tujja kujja ne mu bifo eyo tubeebuuzeeko nammwe tubawulire. Mulowooza mutya? Kino kye tuteesateesa okukola, naye tuwulirize nammwe kubanga twagala kubeera kitongole ekiwuliriza abantu, kubanga tukolera mmwe tetwekolera ffe. Njagala okubeebaza okubeera bagumiikiriza. Kati kanyaniriza ebibuuzo.
Abalinda dda. Nze Mulangira Ddembe, alipoota ne GTV. Nina ebibuuzo byo 3. Waliwo ebintu ebimu, amazzi, amasannyalaze, ebimanyiddwa nti byo ne ssente eza Uganda nti omuntu tabiina kuba bannannyini. Naye mu bitundu byaffe tulaba eyo ng'omuntu otuuse okutapinga ku masannyalaze ne bakugamba gundi yaleeta ekikondo musasule, era ne bakuganira ddala ofuna amasannyalaze. Omuze gw'okuowuninga amasannyalaze mu Uganda gwatandika ddi? Abantu babuuzeeyo wansi. Ekibuuzo ekirala, mulina ssente ze mutemako nga tusasula yaka ku ntandikwa y'omwezi, mpulira muziyita service fee. Naye bwe tukuba omulanga nga tufunye ebizibu, abantu bammwe mu kujja batusaba ssente. Ensonga eyo abantu basaba ekolebweko. Ekinaasembayo mu kwogera kweyogedde ku bantu abasala abayonoona amasannyalaze. Last year ndowooza nga tuvudde mu kalulu awo omubaka Nsibambi yayonoona amasannyalaze, naye mpaka nakati tavunaanwa nga gwa butujju kubanga kye kibonerezo ky'alina okufuna. Amateeka mu kukola mulimu abaana n'ebyana, zezo ensonga zange minisita.
Tweyanza nnyo minisita. Amannya nze Dani Mugula, kola n'omukutu Daily Mail. Kibuuzo ekyange kigenda
Damuka erinnya bambi.
Amannya nze Dani Mugula.
Okay.
Ffe nga abakoseddwa ku masannyalaze agavaavaako, teekateeka ki gye muyinza okutuddizaamu oba okutuyirira? Ekibuuzo ekyokubiri, ekibuuzo ekyokubiri, singa mbadde njagala ekikondo ky'amasannyalaze, njagala ombuulire ku bbeeyi yaakyo.
Please, some of you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. My name is Dominic Ochola. I work for Uganda Radio Network. You'd forgive me if this has already been said in Uganda because my Uganda is very insufficient. But what I'm going to ask is basically on electricity consumers. They have always raised concerns every time they purchase prepaid electricity tokens. They are charged about 4,000 in additional fees and taxes beyond the actual units bought. So could the ministry provide a detailed breakdown of these deductions? Explain the legal basis for each charge, identify the agencies that receive the money, and clarify whether there are plans to review or reduce these costs to make electricity more affordable to the consumers. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. My name is Pedison Mumbere. I write for the Now Post. I have had all the problems related to electricity, but I know the country has been pushing for nuclear energy, and last year, but one, I remember we traveled to Uganda to see how the program is. I now want to drive my question that where does the program stand now, if you can give us the updates. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, Honorable. Evans Najona is my name, and from Spout TV and Red Pepper. Honorable, you said that Uganda is developing at a quick speed, and people are demanding for more power. Now, with NRM government, it seems the development and economic transformation is not going to stop. What is your ministry planning to do for this quick development of Ugandans so that the power will be stable and people can consume it at every stage they want? Thank you.
Honorable Minister n'abalala tubalamusizza, nze Lwanga Derrick okuva mu Hope TV. Ekibuuzo kyange kigenda mu UEDCL. Ebbanga eriise abakulu baavaayo ne bategeeza bannayuganda beetereeze, era bannayuganda bangi ne basaba amasannyalaze okwetereeza. Nene bwe tuukidde olwaleero nga bye baagamba okwetereeza bo tebannabatereeza, newankubadde bo baasalawo bagende beetereeze nga basaba zimmita ne bakola buli kimu ne basasula n'ensimbi ezisasulwa si nnyingi ntonotono, naye n'olwaleero bakyalinze. Ate ebikwekweto byazzeemu nga bigenda biwanulayo waya zaabwe kwe baalindirira okwetereereza. Kiki ekigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga bannange?
Honorable Minister, weebale. Ekibuuzo kyange kiri nti bwe kibanga ekizibu kyaffe, okay, erinnya nze Torick Moses Masembe, nkola ne Mukono FM. Bwe kibanga ekizibu kyaffe ze transmitter ne transformers enkadde. Nandiyagadde okumanya transmitter emu oba transformer ya ssente mmeka? Ekyokubiri, transmitter eyo oba transformer ekavalinga ebyalo bimeka okulaba nti abantu bafuna amasannyalaze amalungi. N'ekisembayo, Honorable Minister, eggwanga lino Uganda, kampani eno yaffe, twandagadde okumanya nsimbi mmeka ze mu collectinga buli lunaku oba omwezi, era naye losses ze mugezaako kubanga mu inkalinga. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Minister. That was the last question. We shall request that you do both the English and Luganda, and we shall be done. Thank you.
Mwebale nnyo. Thank you very much for the questions. This is the easiest part where I call my technical people to support me. Yeah, where I call my technical people to support me. There is a question about private ownership of electric poles. You coming? Come and respond to that.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. All the poles, when they are installed, basically they are taken over by Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. They become part of our property. However, where the requests are always sent back is when this is going to affect someone's land. One of the things why we keep insisting is let these poles be along the already gazetted roads, such that if the next customer is connecting, does not compromise the use of the person where the pole is. So we request again, re-echo that the only time someone would start those negotiations if it's going to affect his land. Otherwise, if it's along the road, it's 100% owned by UEDCL. You shouldn't be charged. Mu bumpimpi emiti gino kasaba gimala okuteekebwawo gifuuka ebimu ku byuma byaffe bye twogeddeko. Ffe tubivunaanyizibwako okulaba nga ne bwe guba gukaddiye nga tuguzzaako. Obuzibu bwokka we bubeererawo ng'omuti guli mu ttaka lya muntu ate ng'okuteekako wayayo gugenda kutaataaganya enkozesa y'ettaka lye. So awo tuba tukusendika ne wabaawo kafoomu ke tukuwa tukayita weeri foomu okusaba olukusa olwo okuva ewa neighbour. Awo simanyi oba musasula naye yandibadde ntegeeragana n'akukkiriza. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala.
Thank you very much. I want to now invite the Permanent Secretary, Madam Irene Metebe, to come and address some of the questions.
So I'll take part of the questions and then through the Honorable Minister invite the CEO ERA to handle aspects of taxes and service fee, and then CEO UEDCL to come in on issues on service fee, etc. concerning UEDCL. So Pedison Mumbere inquired about the status of the nuclear energy project, visited Buyende, and he wanted to know the current status. To put it in context, nuclear energy will form a major part of our energy security, where we are contributing 24,000 megawatts or 24 gigawatts out of our projected 52,000 megawatts by 2040. And indeed, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has an active nuclear program where we are starting with 8,600 megawatts in Buyende, and we'll follow that with another project in Nakasongola. Now, on the Buyende side, we are advancing with the engineering studies for that project, but also acquisition of land. So this year, financial year 25-26, 26-27, we are going to focus on land acquisition to ensure that we fully acquired the land in Buyende. And subsequently, we will proceed to engage an engineering, procurement, and construction company contractor. We are working with the government of the Republic of South Korea in many of these aspects, given their extensive expertise, and the government of Argentina and a few other partners on the nuclear program. So this is still on track, and alongside it, we are advancing an amendment to the Atomic Energy Act that will come to Parliament this year. So that is on the nuclear program. It remains on track. So I'll invite through the Honorable Minister, CEO ERA, and the CEO UEDCL.
Honorable Minister, Permanent Secretary, colleagues, the captains of the industry, our fourth estate, it's an opportunity to respond on matters of service charge, although today we were focusing on improved communication to be together as we restore, maintain the network to serve you better. First, I want to emphasize that in the entire Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and its agencies, no customer is supposed to pay anybody in cash. There is no money that is collected in cash in any way. So whoever asks you to pay them cash on their mobile money, personal payments are not there. Not even to the EDs, and I don't know, not even to our minister. So the way the query was brought up that we pay service charge, which is supposed to contribute to the operation and maintenance, but then the people who go to the field ask for money. You are not supposed to pay anybody for any electricity services in person, in cash, on their mobile money. So as part of the price of the electricity that you pay 3,460 shillings as service charge, which contributes to the operation and maintenance, fixed costs, because we have energy variable costs, which we incur as you consume, but also even when you are not consuming your supply, we have costs that we incur. For example, we have to pay salaries, whether you switched on or off. We have to maintain the lines, whether you switched on or off, so that by the time you come to switch on, the lights are on. So service charge contributes to the operation and maintenance cost, fixed costs that don't run with the variable costs, which you pay when you are consuming to pay for the Yaka tokens. But in addition to that, energy adds value and is taxed at 18%. So yes, the electricity supply industry, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development through ERA does not set taxes. So when we announce price, tariff, the cost of electricity, we announce it net of any applicable taxes. And therefore we have to pay attention to the Taxi Act, which comes out to every year, which levies the taxes onto the Yaka tokens that we buy. Honorable Minister, those were the two questions that were raised of price and tax nature. There was also a question general on planning, which I think we shall come in a different meeting to share the plans we have at the various segments of the industry, generation, transmission, distribution, to meet the demand. Because they are asking, the economy is growing very fast. Are we ready? Are we prepared? The answer is yes, but we can not only give a qualitative answer, we will come and exhibit here how we are planning to meet the energy requirement that will fuel the economy to the 10-fold growth economy. Now, another person asked about the cost of a poll. The number was shared here because we don't want to cause confusion. For a no poll and one poll, these are being paid for by government through the Scale Up program. So if someone comes outside there and say, pay for a poll, pay for a no poll, in this period, to avoid confusion, because then how will you segregate those who are paying and those who are not paying? We are the 500,000 connections that we've talked run with for the next 6 months are already paid for by government. So apart from the 23 and the 64, that is what we expect you to pay. Honourable Minister, with that, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I'll answer the questions about wetereze. Thank you for that one. Again, that wetereze, as you've heard. When we we first did the campaign, and I just want to thank our customers. We had a response of over 120,000 self-reports of people who are on direct supply or needed their meters replaced. Currently, we have replaced 80,000. We do acknowledge there are 40,000 who are left, and as you've seen with a new meter consignment, we are going to tackle these 40,000. I want to assure you, for all those who reported under the weighted easy project. Is there any other question about the monthly amount? Okay, so for replacements, and I'll be clear, for replacements and upgrades that we are doing under our CAPEX program hours, there is no cost. We do it under our operating expenditure and our CAPEX program. So when we are going and there's a transformer that requires upgrade or replacement when it fails, UEDCL will take on that cost. For private transformers, for those who want to install their transformers privately, we don't sell transformers as UEDCL. However, we have different businesses which can provide you a quotation for the transformers. UEDCL does not sell transformers directly to suppliers. But once it gets on the network, it becomes a government transformer. When it fails, we replace it at no cost. That is the advantage. We replace it at no cost. If it requires maintenance, if it requires protection, the consumer will have no cost to pay. Because we have taken it over, we shall do it at our own cost. Thank you.
Thank you for answering those questions. There was a question which I'm going to close with from Ready Paper. Ready Paper, they are my friends. You rightly observed that Uganda is rapidly growing. And in fact, when we enter, as we start the qualitative leap, which has started, the rate of growth is going to become faster. And so government has adequately planned. That's why you see undertakings like nuclear energy, geothermal energy, the solar energy. We have a lot of plans so we have an investment plan which is meant to keep ahead of the national needs, of the projected national needs. You also don't want to produce a lot of power and stays redundant because you still have to pay for it. So we have planned to grow the electricity in sync, just keeping ahead of the national demand. Where there is a continent-wide initiative known as Mission 300, and Uganda we signed our compact to this mission aims to connect 300 million Africans to power by 2030, and Uganda is part of that. So we are mobilizing all the resources, our allocation from government, but also looking for investors to make sure that we have energy. Energy is critical for national development. I want to thank you very much for welcoming me today. And we are going to be moving to the regions in the near future. We are coming to listen on your proposals on how we can best improve our services to you. Really, I want to promise you. I have mothers here. You all stand up. How can mothers let down the nation? The leaders in energy are all women. So I want to promise you that these women are going to serve you to your satisfaction. As long as it is in our power, Energy will not be your problem. And when we have a challenge, we will come and we will talk about it like mothers do. Thank you very much. God bless you.
I also believe that the men here are also going to